Before I start the review, I just want to inform all viewers that this video is not sponsored by EA or BioWare or any of the developers. This video is based on my experiences, opinions, and has no intention of bashing any of the developers as well. And no, I am not a part of the EA Game Changers or trying to get in the EA Game Changers program. Without further ado, let's get into the video. What is going on, y'all? It's your boy Gudda, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day as always. Today, guys, I want you guys to sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, grab whatever, because I bring to you guys an Anthem review where I'll be going over everything about the game, but I'll be summarizing it as well. So, hope you guys enjoy. So first off, we're going to be starting about what is Anthem exactly about. Now, I'm going to start off with the good things of the game, and then I'll tell you the bad things about the game. Obviously, no game isn't perfect, so this is expected. So you're set on an unnamed planet where players assume the role of the freelancers. These freelancers go on heroic adventures where they wear these very powerful exosuits to defend humanity. The game title refers to the Anthem of Creation, a powerful and mysterious force responsible for most of the extraordinary technology, phenomena, and threats to this world. In the main narrative, the player, or the freelancer, is tasked with stopping the monitor from seizing control of the Anthem. So it's basically just, the common type of a story where you guys are the good guys and you're just trying to stop the main bad guy from getting hold of this powerful element or force. And the story, although it may sound kind of, straightforward, it's actually pretty good. You have a 10-hour campaign, which isn't bad, which is pretty average for mostly all games. At the beginning of the game, you're deployed in a mission, and during that mission, they tell you the controls of what's to jump, to fly, and whatnot, and you get to pick a voice, and that voice can be a male voice or a female voice, which will obviously determine your gender. Now, after that mission, you get to pick a face, variations of different face. So if you pick the male voice, you have male faces. If you pick the female voice, you'll have female faces. Now, this is pretty nice. It's decent. It's not too bad. It's minimal customization for the pilot, which is you. But one thing I must say that I disagree with, that I really didn't get the point of, is that they allow you to pick a face, but during the entire campaign, I never saw myself. I just literally saw myself in my javelin, not say I saw my face or anything like that, which I think picking a face is pretty pointless at this point. So that is one thing I kinda disagree. Well, not really kinda, but disagree a lot with. Now, I don't know if anytime in the future this feature will actually be useful, but for now, it's not useful at all. But it's kind of a little good addition to the game. So, continuing with the campaign, the main story, the characters are quite interesting. They're pretty interactive. They all have their different personalities and stuff like that, and they make you feel rather engaged. That type of feeling. They're not boring or anything like that. And some of these characters, they're associated as different factions. So there's the freelancers, there's the arcanists, and then there's the sentinels as well. These different factions will give you different mission variations. But when you complete the campaign, though, the lore of the story doesn't stop there after the campaign. You still have other, side missions, people to talk around Fort Tarsus, different challenges, and those challenges will tell you more about the history of, Fort Tarsus or Bastion. So, moving on to more. The other, I didn't want us to put this problem in the middle of something that I'm talking about that is good about the game, but the only next problem I really have with the characters is the gestures. Now, sometimes you'll be having an interaction with someone that you're talking around for Tarsus, and the hand gestures doesn't suit what they're talking about, so it looks kind of corny, which I would be showing you guys right now. And I think they could have at least put in a little more effort into the hand gestures and stuff like that.
Your knees?
What are you gonna do? It's kind of how I work, right? Sexy danger? Anyway, this game.
So yeah, that was an example of the hand gestures, the conversation I was having with that girl. So let's talk a little bit about the fort. Now, the fort is really nice, I would admit. There's different rooms where you can go and visit the different factions, and you can get contracts from them, normal contracts and legendary contracts, which will be a bit harder but more rewarding. And my little thing with the fort is it's nice, but I think it's a bit too small. To me, it could have been bigger. Bigger. It is pretty interactive, but not too interactive. But in the fort, you can find different trials. You have daily trials, weekly trials, monthly trials, which reward you accordingly. There's also an alliance status, which it's a weekly thing where players, friends that'll be on your friend list that you play with, and the more you play with them or the more they play the game, it kind of like tallies up at the end of the week and gives everyone a cut of some coins, which isn't too bad at all. Also, you can visit different vendors that'll have featured stores where you can find like cosmetics for your javelin and resources to craft different components and weapons as well. So as we're talking about components, let's move on to the customization in the forge. Now, the forge is where you go and customize your javelin, equip your weapons, build your javelins, and also you can swap out your javelins as well. The different components, you will get them from, of course, farming, and as you farm and do challenges for those specific components, you can unlock the blueprints for that component, and you can actually craft that component to get a different role or inscriptions that are on these items or weapons or components or whatever you want to call them. There's different tiers for these components or weapons. It starts off with common, then it goes to uncommon, rare, epic, masterwork, and legendary. Obviously, legendary is the highest tier for components and weapons. Now, I did mention inscriptions, so let me briefly tell you guys what are inscriptions. Each weapon and components, they have these specific like proficiencies, or we call them inscriptions, and they give you like 4 different sets of bonuses, depending on the tier. Remember I told you guys about that tier, the epic, the masterwork, legendary, blah blah blah, right? So in terms of like the masterwork and the legendary, they have 4 inscriptions, and as you can see them, they'll be at the bottom, right? So some will have like extra gear damage, sniper damage, bonus charges, speed for your javelin, thruster, life, more shields, more armor. Each of these components, they have different roles, and if you want different inscriptions, all you have to do is obviously farm, and each time you farm, and you might get that same exact component but with a different inscription, so one might be better than the other. So it just all depends on RNG really. And whilst we're in here, let's talk about the customization. Now I'm gonna run through this really quick because I'm really trying to round this review up, alright? So just bear with me. You have different vinyls to put over your javelins. You have different wear states where you have you can look clean, old, dirty, brand new, however you like. And you have different emotes as well for when you just drop it into a mission after you finish a mission, and emotes where you can activate during missions or free play. So the emotes are really nice. They're a bit expensive in terms of coins, which you can get in game, but some of them are really worth it, I would admit. And obviously you have different colors as well. Now what I like about the color system is that you can change well, let me start off by saying with the armor pieces. The armor pieces, you can change a different head, a different torso, arms, and legs. So you can mix and match different armor pieces. And each armor piece, basically you can change the colors of it. And not only that you can change the colors, but you can change the materials of these pieces, right? So you can change the material of the head, the torso, legs, with different materials. So there's like cloth, there's like plastic, there's like rubber, all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty cool, I would admit. It's really cool. And while we are here, I'll let you guys know the 4 different javelins. This one is the Interceptor, this one is the Ranger, this one is the Colossus, followed by the Storm Javelin. All these javelins have different roles, different abilities, different capabilities as well. And obviously, they all require a different play style. So let me give you guys a quick rundown of all of the javelins. The first one I have here is the Interceptor. Interceptor is a melee-based javelin. It is the most agile javelin, but it has the lowest armor ratings. Due to the fact that it's quick, it's agile, so if you know how to maneuver with this javelin, you wouldn't really be getting hit in the first place. So next up we have the Ranger. The Ranger is the most balanced javelin, a good balance between movement and damage. You know, this javelin is really fun to play with as well. I mean, I'm mainly an Interceptor main, but definitely the Ranger is the most balanced javelin. The Ranger is more meant to be in the heart of the battle, you know, like he's the front man. He goes out in front first and then everyone comes in after. That's basically the role of the Ranger. Next up we have Storm, and Storm is a elemental based javelin. So he wields electricity, ice, fire, you name it, those types of elements. And basically his objective on the battlefield is just to prime the enemies and basically set them up for a combo for the rest of the teammates to go in. He's a very powerful javelin, I would admit, but he's squishy. I mean, not as squishy as the Interceptor, but he cannot tank at all, you know. So you kind of have to be careful when you're playing Storm, but he is a very fun javelin. I mean, like, all of the javelins, as a matter of fact, are pretty fun, you know. It's just which role that you want to play on the battlefield and what javelin suits your playstyle. Anyways, moving on. And last but not least, we have the Colossus, aka the Thick Boy, as the Anthem community refers to him. He is the most tanky, most powerful javelin in the game, but he is the least agile and the slowest javelin in the game at the same time. This javelin was really made to tank a lot of hits, and he is the only javelin that is closest of playing a support role. I would really kind of categorize him as a support javelin. So if you want to do all the destruction and take a lot of hits, then the Colossus is the way to go. So I want to talk about this last thing about the game before I head into the faults and the bad stuff in this game. I want to talk about the environment. Environment, I'm just in love with it. Like, the whole environment, it looks so good. Like, they really did a damn good job in making this game look pretty. And surprisingly, this is the normal Xbox One. This is not the Xbox One S or the Xbox One X that has the HDR and 4K and all that fancy stuff. I have a friend that he does have the Xbox One X, and he plays this game and it looks unbelievable. Like, it's super clean, the game runs smooth, I don't get any lag, it's very fluent. Same thing with the gameplay. The combat is really good. the kind of Iron Man feel you have, you know, flying through the skies and stuff like that. It's just really nice, you know. Like, I think this is one thing that BioWare really hit really good. Like, they did a great job, I would admit, you know, but it tends to be a bit boring. Like, there's not enough activities that is going on in Bastion, which is the open part of the game. It doesn't seem that there isn't much going on. Certain parts does kind of look the same in a way. I mean, it's not the same, but it gives you that feeling as if you're going in circles, you know. And I think that really isn't good, but despite everything looks good, like even underwater sceneries as well, it looks amazing. I cannot stop talking about how good everything looks in this game, you know. So let me tell you guys bad stuff in this game, and also what I personally think that can improve this game. So I want to start off by the weapons. Now, I personally think the weapon design in this game is trash, to be honest. The weapons, they all basically look the same. They have this kind of boxy looking way of them. Like, all of them resemble pretty much the same. You know, they all have this boxy shape. It's not a it's ridiculous. Like, they could have put a little more effort into the weapon design. And obviously customization is a no bueno in this case, because you cannot customize these weapons at all, cannot paint it, nothing like that. You know, it sucks, but it is what it is. It could have put a little more time and effort into designing these weapons. Don't get me wrong, the weapons sound great. They sound really good, but the design of it is just poor. I mean, like, some of them look good, but all of them look the same. Like, all the sniper rifles, they look the same. You can't tell which one is which, you know, and I think that is really lazy of the developers. You know, it's really poor. Sorry to say, but this is actually one of my problems that I have with the game. You know, it's the little things that counts, people. The little things that counts. Moving on, I think Fort Tarsus could have been much bigger. You know, like, look at all this space. Now, the ones at the outside, that's outside of Fort Tarsus, but there's little black areas where you can actually you know, you can actually see where people live and stuff like that, you know. And they could have given us all that access, you know, and make more in-game characters more accessible, right? I mean, look at this footage here. This part here, it's barricade off, and you can see other people that belong to the fort. You can actually see them, you know, chit-chatting and stuff like that. They could have gave us access to all of there. Personally speaking, like, they could have given us access to all of there. And I think the fort it's too small, to be honest, and it's not that interactive. Yes, there's people to talk around Fort Tarsus, but it's not enough. But let me get down into more important issues that need to be addressed with this game. Now, this game has been in production since 2012. Yeah, 6 years basically. And for a game that has been in production for 6 years to be released at this state is just completely wrong. It's a disaster. Now, this game isn't horrible, but it isn't great as well. The game feels incomplete. There's a lot of issues still in the game, but they have been fixing it. That is the good thing about it. But the game had a really bad start. Like, a really bad start. And now, it was kind of expected, because every game, even with Warframe, the updates and stuff like that, you always get a little bug here and there. But I mean, it was really bad. But at least the developers really got into it and fixed it, right? Now, what I've been told, or what I've been like researching and stuff like that, is Anthem has been in pre-production for several of years, and coming down to the last 12 to 19 months, they actually started the game and finished the game. So basically that's about a year and 6 months or a year and 7 months. They started the game and finished it, which is crazy, right? So that kind of explains why the game feels so rushed. And I don't know what is the cause of it. I really believe that it's EA, because everything has a time limit, and these developers, they work so hard to get their updates and new content out within a certain time limit because of EA, right? So that really spoils everything for everyone, both developers and the consumers, which are us. The game needs tons of work. The developers need to actually play their own game so they can actually know what exactly is going on. And I can't really blame them for not being able to play their own game, because they actually admit that they're not really getting time to play their own game because of EA. Now, is that fair? Nah, it's not fair at all. And it makes BioWare looks really bad. There are many things that I think that can be improved in Anthem, and I personally think the engine, which is Frostbite, I think it's horrible. It's a good engine for Battlefield and other shooter games, but not for looter shooter. That what really causes all the loading screens, which they have reduced, by the way. That causes all these loading screens because of the engine, right? And I personally think that if BioWare really wants to improve Anthem by a lot, they just might have to start over from a complete new engine, which is crazy because they'll have to scratch the whole game and start over from scratch, and it might be another 6 years, which might just lead them into scratching the whole project. But they can do it with this engine, right? It's just that they're gonna need to know how to improvise and implement certain things to make everything work in their favor and in our favor as well, because day by day they're losing people, right? So do I hate the game? No. I personally love the game. The game is super fun. It's a stress reliever. I'm having tons of fun. The game has its faults, yes, and it can be improved, right? It can be improved. Would I recommend getting this game? No, not right now. What I would recommend is, though, follow the game, look out for the updates of what's new with the game. I suggest to buy the game later on in the year when the game is way better than it is, because I don't want to be responsible for people saying, oh, Gudda made me buy a trash game. No, I think the game, well, I don't think, but the game is just one of those games that will get better over time. That's how I see it. And I'm willing to wait around, stick around to see what BioWare really has to offer with this game, because I'm really having fun. But the only main problems is with the loot system. Yeah, the loot system is a bit bugged out right now, and lack of endgame content. This game shouldn't have all these problems for a game that everyone's been waiting for 6 years, and it's not fair. And I don't blame people for getting their refunds and stuff like that. It's bad, and as I said in previous videos, you never have a second chance to make a first impression. First impression always counts. Hands down, it always counts. There are a lot more issues that are in the game, but this video is already long enough. I don't want to make it any more longer. So I'll stop here by saying this game is a good game, not a great game. Wait later on to the year to see what happens, and then you guys can get the game. If you guys want any little information, you guys feel free, hit me up and ask me any questions in the comments, or hit me up on Twitter. Link will be in the description, and we can have a talk, right? I have no problem with that. And also, what will I rate this game? A lot of people gave it 3 out of 10. Some people gave it 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Well, personally, how I feel about the game, I would give this game a 6 out of 10. That maybe still be high because of the position of the game right now, but I gave it that rating because I have to like a game above average for me to actually stick around playing with it. If a game is like, 4 out of 10, obviously I wouldn't even be doing a review. I wouldn't even be playing it. I wouldn't even be talking about it, But I give this game a 6 because it still has things that makes me keep on coming back, like the combat and stuff like that. It's a really fun game, I would admit, guys. Like, it's really fun, but it just lacks end game content and stuff like that. But the game is getting better and better and better day by day, month by month. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this review. It's the first time I'm doing this. I really had a lot of fun doing it. Thank you guys for so much for sticking around. Like, I really do appreciate it. Hope this video really enlightens you more about Anthem, and play what you like. Like, you don't have to get Anthem, you don't have to get any other game. You can buy or play whatever game you like. It's your choice, it's your money. Don't bash, don't hate, because negativity would not bring anything positive. Understand that. There's been a lot of negative things going around on YouTube, and that's not gonna help any game, periodly. It's not gonna help any game push forward. It's just gonna make you part of getting clout on YouTube, because negativity sells on YouTube. People quicker to click on a video that says, oh, Anthem is trash or Warframe is trash, than a video that says Warframe is good or Anthem is good, right? That's the difference. So guys, don't forget to leave a comment of what you guys think about the game. And for those that are watching this and have been playing the game since day one, I'm gonna leave my comment section open for you guys to voice your opinion about the game. If you want to rant about how bad the game is, well, not really hate speech, but how bad the game and how disappointed you are at the game, I'm leaving my comment section open for you guys to vent it out. I want to hear what you guys think deep down inside, because these are the things that the community needs as well. I'm a person, I speak the truth, I be blunt, but I don't hate and I don't bash. I be real at the end of the day. But people, hope you guys enjoy this review, hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate all of you guys, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Have a blessed day.
And through the years you watch me grow, there's one thing I want you to know, is that I follow in your footsteps.